whole time. It's about time. We gon' unwind, let it all go, bring any waterfall. And we know. Live on YouTube. Bing, bing, bing. There's that.
Life is weak.
Alright, dodgy. Enough. Share it everywhere. Boom. Boom. Okay. Live now at everyone. Ba, 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 ba. Okay. Okay. Okie dokie. How's everybody doing? I gave it. I'm gonna give it another 4 minutes just to let the notifications rip. I'm gonna say it on Twitter too. Fuck it. Where's Twitter? Where's Twitter? It is hot over here. Let me tell you guys. Oh my gosh. Bitcoin's at all-time highs. Damn. Damn. Live on YouTube for Q and A and daily and PA recap. There we go. Okay. Now where is this? Cool, cool, cool. How's you guys doing today? Did you take any trades? What happened? What happened? What happened today? Anyone take any trades or what? I didn't take anything. I did nothing today. I sat on my hands and enjoyed my day in the sun. I did nothing. And I'll tell you exactly why I didn't do anything today. Can I explain SMT? No. You can watch my YouTube video. That's like you asking me to explain a fair value gap. Ugh. How's everybody doing? Bum bum bum. Let's replay price and go back to the beginning of the day. Because the only thing that I wanted today was longs on indices, and I'll tell you exactly why. I'll tell you exactly why. Bro, you could go on my YouTube and find every single trade breakdown that I've done has SMT. Every video that I've done has SMT. Or you just search on Google, what is SMT divergence? Like, damn. Bitcoin's pumping. And we licked all-time highs. It's a beauty. But I want to talk about today's price action. I want to talk about why I didn't take a trade today and how nothing really aligned in regards to how I trade. I already posted an Instagram reel on the whole topic and the ideology, but this is just another walkthrough for you guys, just so you can kind of get an understanding as to what I was looking at and how I came to my conclusion of doing nothing for the day. But let's start off on daily charts. I don't know why this is not showing the proper candle. Anyways, so obviously going into this trading day, I wanted longs. I was leaning bullish price action. I wanted price to trade higher because we had what? We had a daily fair value gap here. We had a daily fair value gap here on the Dow Jones. There was no fair value gap on the NASDAQ, but we had an SMT at the previous daily lows and Monday's low, as you can see here, within that daily fair value gap. And as you can see, the Dow Jones took out that low from Monday, and we swept it and went higher, trading into this internal range liquidity pool. So daily narrative done already in the span of 5 seconds. That's how fast you want to be when you're looking for like high quality trades. It needs to be that like you need to take less than 10 seconds for you to be able to see the trade. Like I should be able to look at a higher time frame chart and immediately know, boom, I know exactly where price should be gravitating towards. Like, for example, if you look at, let's say like gold on like a weekly perspective or like a higher time frame perspective, I don't know what the fuck this thing wants to do. Is this clear to me? Absolutely not. It's chopped and range bound, and it's been like this since pretty much Q2 start. And this is not something of high probability price action to me. This is something where we are already gravitating towards more all-time highs. Price has just been trending in one singular direction. Take out old highs and lows, rebalance, imbalance, take out old high, do the same thing, rebalance, imbalance, go high again. Same sort of spiel. Not rocket science. Now, going from a daily to a 1 hour perspective, let's replay price as to how we were kind of getting our bias for the day. And replay to before equities open right here and talk about it more so. So there's that daily SMT. And then let's go to the Dow Jones. There is that daily SMT here. Okay, so we had our SMT set in on that daily chart. Now, where can I label some sort of protected low that price shouldn't go back below if we're looking for longs? The daily profile today was a classic buy. Why was it a classic buy? Because we had an SMT set in at the London low. What happened at London lows? We created an SMT between the Dow and the NASDAQ and the S&P 500. Here, we had a lower low set in on the NASDAQ, higher low set in on the Dow and the S&P 500 here. So this is the sentiment and this is the belief of where you understand that price has a classic buy day where we are setting the low of the day in London session, and you want to see New York continue higher. Now, you guys already know this. In order for me to like get into a trade, I need certain entry model criteria to check off in order for me to do something. Now, if I'm going to go long on like an intraday perspective, 5-minute, 15-minute chart, I need some sort of SMT to put my stop loss at in order for me to get in. And we had no high impact news today, previous day, and Monday. So I'm heavily reliant on the 9:30 open to provide me some sort of manipulation or some sort of creation of another stage of SMT for me to then capitalize on a move. And as you could see, prior to 9:30 open and before this 9 o'clock candle comes in, I wanted price to come down into this little hourly bullish fair value gap, or at some sort of bare minimum, create an SMT between like hourly candle lows here. Like I had this main POI between all three of the correlated assets, and I wanted to see any of these correlated lows get some sort of sweep. So if I skip to the next hourly candle, we did not have that at all. Everything and every single low here was identical to the previous, as you could see, between all of them. And if I go to the 5-minute chart and I show you what was happening here, There's 9:30. I'm not getting into any sort of trade or laying on any risk prior to this time. Why? Because 9:30 open could have easily ran lower, took out early longs, and then went higher. I am not putting myself at risk for that to potentially happen. I will gladly wait, and if it doesn't offer exactly what I need it to, I'm standing off. I'm not doing shit. And if you guys caught this breaker here from the 5-minute perspective, I mean, good for you. It's not something that I would have felt comfortable taking in my own personal opinion. Like, that's not enough for me because the hourly chart didn't give me exactly what I needed to. At the bare minimum, it would have needed to run a previous hourly low. Not even tag the hourly gap. It could have ran a previous hourly low, and I would have been green to go in and take that long on this 5-minute bullish breaker block for an execution. But I didn't have that, so therefore I didn't want to do anything. Oh my God, what is this kid calling me for? Okay, but yeah. Did you just say MMXM looks better than you? You don't even know what MMXM looks like. That's crazy. But that is kind of how I came to the conclusion of not doing anything for the day. So I went about my day, and then obviously like the remainder of this day and what happened here, like this is what price did. We actually came down into that hourly gap and we created the SMT. Like the reaction was aggressive higher, boom, drop lower. We then created an SMT inside of the hourly gap here. Also, price traded into a 4-hour gap, on the Nasdaq or the S&P 500, and then went higher. But by this time, I just didn't have any sort of interest in doing anything because of just how checked off I was for the day. Like I literally I walked away, ran errands, went to the gym, went to the pool. I wasn't at my setup. I already locked myself out of my accounts. Didn't want to do anything. Did you really just say, have you taken any trades today, sir? That's psychotic. I cannot believe that these questions are even coming up. But based off of, let me read some of these questions. This live will be uploaded and it will be on my channel. No, I didn't take any trades today. None were taken. I don't trade any currency pairs anymore. I'm done with foreign currencies, dollar, pound, euro, sick of them. Literally so sick and tired of them. But the day of no news, me trying to capitalize on a trade, I'm heavily reliant on the 9:30 open to guide me. And the 9:30 open today was a moonshot with no manipulation giving to me prior. I had no SMT on my hourly charts prior to this entire move. The only SMT that I had set in was at London low, all the way down here. So if you guys don't already know this, my stop loss placements for every single trade that I take has to have SMT at the lows. If there's no SMT at my stop loss, then I don't want to take the trade. I can't, because I'm pretty much just guessing as to where price shouldn't go to. I don't want to trade currencies because it's a waste of my time. I make more than enough money trading just gold and the Nasdaq. And I want to stick with just futures trading rather than trading anything foreign currency. USA. So if I was to take a trade here on the NASDAQ, I would have had to go long at some point in price, or like if I was up earlier, like long the hourly breaker here when we closed above, and then I would have had to put my stop loss relative to where the SMT was down here, and then look for a 1 to 2. But at this point in these times, I'm not even at my setup. I'm literally just I'm making breakfast, like not even looking at the charts until like 9 o'clock. So like I would have had to do this with my stop loss down here covering the London low. That would literally be my only way of getting in. For an intraday move, I would need the SMT set in on the previous hourly lows and then get in for price to expand higher after that. Why is this not skipping? But tomorrow should be a good day. Tomorrow should be a good day. We have 8:30 news, and we have it's an actual news event, unemployment claims. So I would be excited for that, and maybe we can get either a continuation higher on indices primarily. I mean, I might be looking for the Dow Jones just to see, because this is lagged behind, taking out the daily external high, and or the S&P 500. I want to see something like that, because S&P 500 still has yet to take out the daily external high. What do you think about trading NQ when it's... I don't care about trading NASDAQ when it's the weaker one, because it offers more points and a heavier payment, rather than trading S&P. I don't care about taking trades off of the weaker or stronger pair. As long as there's SMT, I'm going to take the trade. I hardly ever take trades on the S&P 500. It will only be NASDAQ, like 99% of the time. 99% of the time, it's going to be NASDAQ. What do I think about gold tomorrow? I don't think anything. I hate gold. Gold sucks right now. This thing is dog shit, butthole, like nasty. This is so bad. This is literally horrible. I don't know what you guys see. I don't know what you guys want to see out of this. This thing looks like certified ash cheek. Like, what in God's name are you guys smoking for you to want to trade this? Honestly, like please, like I would love to know what's going through your brains that makes you think that this is a high probability chart. Trade something else. Like, literally don't trade this. This is horrible. Leave this alone. The weekly has been consolidation since the end of April. If you want to trade something, trade silver. Even silver still looks like butt, but silver's at least got a weekly gap that should go to these highs. Dude, what do I don't, dude, you are annoying. Look at this thing. Why do you think I haven't traded like foreign currencies or EU and GU? Because this shit just looks gross. Wait until news and see if euro can go higher and dollar can go lower, because we're in a weekly gap. But yeah, wait until news, because everything looks like cheeks. You need displacement, and then maybe you can catch a trade. There's no SMT inside of this gap too, so it might even dump and dollar could bolt higher. So I don't even know what this thing wants to do, because there's no SMT right now. And there's no SMT, there's no trade. My prime focus as of recently has only been indices, NQ and ES, and the Dow. Where would you have taken an entry on the second? Oh, so let's say that if we came down, like, I'm going to go back into this chart and replay this. Like, let's say let's say that we had, so this is our first initial SMT, and let's say price, I guess we don't need to say, yeah, I guess let's use the hourly fair value gap as an example. I would have needed this. So this is our hourly gap. I would have wanted price to trade lower like this, and then at that 9:30 bell, sharp move down. And if you watched my last YouTube video, you would know exactly how I would want to frame this, because I did this process in the previous video, except it was utilizing 8:30 and 9:30 being the continuation. But I also posted another video about how 9:30 can also provide the manipulation if there was no 8:30 news. So if this is 9:30, bottom, 9:30 open, I would want that one candle to come in, sweep early longs, take this out, this short-term low, and then close above that specific down close candle. That would be my change and save delivery. I would go long at the retag of the opening price or the breaker, and then I would simply target the 1 hour external highs and then leave runners to external targets, like everything all above here. This would have been the most ideal entry for this morning, while at the same time creating an SMT at that fair value gap tag. Like, this would have been picture perfect, and I would have taken this 1,000 trillion%. But since we didn't get that, I didn't want to do anything. And this could have also been like at least like a sweep of like some sort of, it didn't even have to tag the hourly fair value gap. It could have tagged like a run of like a previous hourly low at a bare minimum. And then I would have been able to get in like that and create SMT like this or some shit. But like either way, I would have needed some sort of hourly SMT during that New York session, and then I would have went in. That hurt. What? The forever model works on Bitcoin and ETH. You don't need a fair value gap on both. You just need a tag on one. Dow price delivery valid, mainly trade NQ. Dow price delivery is valid, and it has been. It has actually been pretty fucking clean. It really has been. It has been clean. And I'll be watching it tomorrow. I'll definitely be watching it tomorrow. What time do you look for entries on gold? 8:30. Anything past 8:30. I don't take trades before 8:30. Never ever. How much percent do you usually take partials? I don't take partials at 1-to-1. I'll typically go break even. My partial points are it's all based off of like where price is trading into, or like what barriers do I have to get through to get to my 1-to-2. It's all based off of that. If I take any partials off. But it typically, like a partial point would be like passing a 1 to 1.5. What was the break point when you become profitable? Before that was your problem. That was not English. But anyways, so everybody's breaking point could be different. Like, obviously, when I found a model, the forever model, and I was consistent with one singular strategy, and the repetition of seeing the same thing repeat itself over and over and over again, it develops and makes you feel a certain way of confidence. And the confidence is the key that will push you to the point of like consistency and profitability, because you're looking for the same sort of pattern repeat itself over and over and over again. Like all of my trades, you guys already know this, every single trade that I take looks exactly the same to the previous. Like right now I'm currently putting together a PDF document. I'm going to share it on social media, and it's going to have like 50 forever model trade setups, and every single trade in that is identical to the previous. Identical. Like literally, it is, the only difference is the symbol. It's either gold, NQ, or majors. Every single one looks the same. And when you do that, and when you develop a backlog or a journal of legitimately fucking hundreds, thousands of trades, and they all look the same, you're gonna fucking find your breaking point, because you're not gonna care about price moves. Like today, I didn't get what I needed to have happen, therefore I don't give a fuck about what price did today. Did not matter to me, neither do I care at all, because I know that after one wave crashes, there's another one that forms behind it. You have to understand that not every single, you're not gonna get a trade every single day. I haven't had a trade since last Wednesday. Like literally, like put that into perspective. Like a lot of you can't fucking do that. Like you can't just accept to walk away in the day. You feel like you have to be in the market at all times. And your misconception is that you feel like that one trade that you missed is the trade that's going to get you funded, or it's the trade that's going to pass your accounts or make you fucking money. If that's your mindset and that's how you're looking at like every single day, I guarantee when you do get funded and you pass your account, you're gonna blow the fucking account in like less than a week. Wouldn't even be surprised if it was probably like a week max. Like with that mentality, you're gonna get lost so fast. But there's so many other questions. But yeah, I would say the consistency of watching the same sort of process repeat itself over and over and over again. And on top of that, a lot of people like hate on backtesting. Backtesting is not bad. Like it's literally not a bad thing. Like go take like an hour or hour and a half of your day and just go on FX replay and just start trying to look for setups that you see and just start clicking buttons. Like take an hour. It's like going to the gym. Like you're just trying to get reps in, and you're just trying to gain confidence in the execution. That's literally it. And if you do that, like you'll be good over time. Like the more you practice, the better you're gonna get. So like you need to do it on your own time, and like do it yourself. Like yeah, I'll do a backtesting stream, but like you guys need to do it too. Like not just me. If I'm doing it, it's gonna benefit me. It's not gonna benefit you. Like it's really not. Like it's benefiting me more than it's benefiting you. So take your own time and start fucking journal your shit and backtest some sort of time during the week. How much do you use to backtest? Every day. Every day for hours on end. Hours on end. And every single trade that I would take from the FX replay, I would throw it in my Notion and have a backlog of every single month and every single time that I took the trade, how I felt during the trade, all that sort of shit. Like I would document my emotions, I would document the time, the entry function, the criteria, everything. And that is how I have been able to develop what I know works and how I know it works. And 99% of you won't have the willpower to do it because you don't want it that much. So really think to yourself, am I doing enough, or am I just trying to scrape up some shit on the ground and get lucky and see if it works? Because if you're in this for luck, you're fucked. What are some common mistakes? Common mistakes that I see people using for the forever model is the first little change in state of delivery. Like let's say price is moving higher like this, and then we have our retracement into a, let's say this is a daily time frame. Let's say this is a daily time, let's say, yeah, daily time frame. I'll mark it off. Say this is daily here. We trade into a daily bullish fair value gap. We create SMT inside of the gap like that, and then they go to the hourly perspective for your execution, and this is what the hourly chart would look like. Like we're trading into like that key level like this. That's that daily gap, and this is the hourly 1 hour. The SMT is like this. They will trade the first change in state of delivery after we sweep a short-term low. Like they buy here, put their stop loss at the low with the SMT, look for the 1 to 2, and then price will stop them out, dig deeper into that daily gap, and then go higher. I see that a lot. This happens a lot of the time, and then you guys complain about it and saying you're like, oh, it doesn't work, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, it doesn't work because you can't assume, especially with an SMT set inside of a daily gap or a higher time frame key level, price can always rerun, dig lower inside of that PD array, because you're also understanding you're looking to frame a smart money reversal. You're pretty much timing the bottom of where the reversal will happen from an internal to an external range draw. Now, the key here is if there is 2 SMTs at the higher time frame key level, like this is the first SMT here, and let's say we don't have, and there's no SMT like this on the hourly chart within that higher time frame key level. Like let's say that this was gone and price looked like that, and we had 2 sort of SMTs here. That would have been good to take a trade on this because we had 2 stages of SMT there. Now, if there wasn't anything like this there, the stop out would have been fine. And let's say we created it again there. We created a second stage here inside of that higher time frame key level. This would have been a much better execution with your stop loss at the low and then targeting that daily external high like this. That would have been a much better setup because you're not eager for the first initial entry. Like this would have been what you wanted to look for. And a lot of people fuck up because they see one small ass candle. We close above its opening price that swept the short-term low. I'm automatically going to get in. Forever Model's about to pay me. Like, no, you're about to get fucked. That's exactly what's about to happen. So, like, when you're looking for the first initial tag of that key level, you want to wait for a second stage of SMT and then hop into the trade. Don't just get it off of 1. Wait for 2. Just like how I needed it today, I wanted it on that hourly fair value gap or hourly lows. I wanted that, and then I would have gotten it. But that's the most that I'm going to go in depth with these 2 stages of SMT. If you want to learn more about that, watch the previous YouTube channels or YouTube videos. Watch the previous YouTube videos. And on top of that, I go more in depth with my live streams about talking about, it's like more of a discretionary thing. It's not required, but it definitely provides you a lot more confluence and safety in regards to your stop losses. It's something that I look for. But if you get stopped out a lot on the first initial execution and price reruns lower into the pre-array, there's a reason why I did that. That's pretty much it. It's not really that hard to think about. Not really that hard to think about. Well, do you personally prefer going off of OB/CSD and set a limit? It depends. It really depends on I'll execute off of inverse fair value gaps. I'll execute off of breakers, and I'll also execute off of my order block. It's realistically something that I need to determine when when it's offering it to me live. Like if price displaces aggressively in one direction and we're far away from my order block, I'll get in on the breaker. And let's say if price is trickling, like I could actually do another diagram on this. Like there's 3 different scenarios here. Like we have the impulse, then we have the retracement like this, and let's say this is the manipulation move lower here. Let's do the inverse fair value gap example. So we're inside of a fair value gap here, and this is the swing. Let's say this is the swing point or that singular down close candle that clears the short-term low. Let's say that's there, and then this is like, I'll even label it off. Let's say this is the order block right here, and let's say this is the breaker here, right there. And then let's say this is the bearish fair value gap, or the IFVG. So in the situation here, if I am getting into the trade and I'm watching this higher time frame key level to see if this is a valid fair value gap and if our reaction is there, if price is kind of trickling and not moving as fast, and we close, like let's say right here just shy of the order block, I'll go in with like a starter pack, like 0.5% at that inverse fair value gap, like right there with my stop loss here, and then put my take profit at the external high like that. That would be my first execution here. Then I'm gonna watch price continue. If we close above that order block and we get like a retracement into it, I'm in full size now. I add again here, like that, stop loss there, readjust my TP. Now let's say if we explode higher and price doesn't want to come down to this order block, or we like displace aggressively, I will put limits at the breaker like this, not stop loss here. My stop loss would go at the low of like a swing that got ran before the manipulation, like this. So like that's like my 3 ways I would get into a trade based off of the reaction off of the higher time frame key level. Get it? What is going on here? Where did you learn what you know? Free education, and then I also was mentored as well. Is there a line? No. The alignment with how I trade is the same for every single market. You got a lot of questions, bro. Gladiator literally just showed you how I picked the right CSD from the second stage of SMT. Can I do a video on breaker blocks? No. No. It's the same. Literally, breaker block is exactly how I just explained it here. And like a perfect example, like this is a breaker. Like, where was my order block from this first initial execution? Like up close candle in a down move, like breaker like this. And then this is my order block. They're always typically align itself. The inverse for value gap, the breaker, and my order block always align itself. Can I trade only when I wake up without getting it? No, you can't. NZD USD, I prefer peace. Do you use opening gap range at all? I do not, actually. I really don't. If you miss the ideal entry, do you look for? Yeah, sometimes. I'll sometimes look for a continuation if we haven't reached a higher time frame liquidity pool yet. Then I will. Bro, for fuck's sake. I don't know with crypto. Like, holy shit. I'm not even a crypto channel. Go follow, like, BitBoy Max or whatever the fuck. I don't even know. Or some other crypto guy. I don't do crypto. Crypto's the same thing as this. Every single market book's the same. This is all the same shit. Stop asking the same questions when I don't specialize in it. Yeah, no, it's a fact. Literally go like 50 hours on FX replay and then just fucking crank that shit out. Appreciate it, yo. Just throw in an hour and a half a day of FX replay and you'll be cool. And do it for like fucking a month, 2 months, 3 months, and you'll cook. You'll cook. You'll be so much more confident than you were prior. Yeah, that's the same strategy, Trill. If there's a clear draw on liquidity, there's no issue at all for a trading PM session. You could have got the PM session move today, actually. With that SMT set in at that 4-hour gap, just the grind was pretty slow. Here, like if I go to the 15-minute and I toggle the indicator, it actually printed today for the 1 to 2. Because there's that 4-hour gap here. We had the SMT with the NASDAQ, as you can see here. We closed above the down close candle that ran the short-term low, and it moved. Slow grind, but it reached a 1 to 2 right here. And we still have that external range target here above. So, if you guys are looking for shit, there you go. Same sort of process, just not as energetic, not as energetically moving. How do you get to meet women as a trader? You go out on weekends. And then you tell girls that you buy and sell candles for a living. And then when they come over and they find out that you don't have any candles and you show them your screen, they leave. That's it. All right. Oh shit, we've been doing this for a minute. Well, anyways, I am going to finish my walk and get in my $15,000 my 15,000 steps. Actually, I'll answer this last question. I even posted. If you guys aren't following me on TikTok, I basically give everything and anything away. Um, I'll answer this last question only because I want to. So I started trading back in 2020, basically like COVID, when COVID hit. And I got into it through options trading because I saw fast money. I saw people were clicking a couple buttons and making thousands upon thousands of dollars. And they did it overnight. And my buddy got me into it. I found out about it. I deposited some money and then I started making a lot of fucking money at the time because all you had to do back then was simply buy a stock and it would go up because COVID was the fucking bottom. We literally bottomed out in March and then the market rallied and ripped face. So all I did was buy, hold. I'd wake up to 5, 10s, 20, $50,000, like easy day. I thought that it was an unlimited money glitch. And then, like, obviously greed kicks in, all this sort of stuff happens. I took a big hit. I took a trade on Amazon earnings, and then Amazon got fucked. I lost like tens of thousands of dollars, and then I took a step back and tried to do this as a legitimate thing because I knew there was potential in it, and I fluctuated through like supply and demand. I went into like order flow trading. I did SMC, and then I found ICT concepts through Intraday, and then I found ICT's 2022 mentorship when it first got released, and then I pretty much went like full-blown obsessive mode, and I was watching like ICT's 2022 mentorship like a Netflix series, and just hours upon hours upon hours on the charts, like every day. But it was to the point where I was so obsessed that it was fucking with my trading because I felt like I always needed to be in the market or have action on the market. Like I felt like every single price move I needed to be a part of it, and that was a huge deterrence in my success. And that whole thing changed and flipped once I had someone to mentor me and keep me accountable and watch every single move that I make. Because me going solo and doing it by myself, I was pretty much spiraling out of control and didn't know when to stop. I never set limitations on myself. I didn't know like what was good and what was bad in regards to higher time frame narrative. Didn't know any of that shit. And then it pretty much took me to the point where I lost so much money that I couldn't lose any more money. So I got to the point of like pretty much rock bottom, and there was to the point in my life where my girlfriend of 6 years broke up with me, and then I was debating on like quitting everything and just giving up trading completely. And then like I kind of fell off the deep end for a little bit of time, and then like there was a point where I pretty much had like a realization, and like I sat down with myself, was like figuring out my why behind all this and why I've been doing all this. And it's really like family oriented because I've always felt that I could be a leader or a big like I guess statue of someone to look up to in my family. And there was a point where like my mom would like be complaining a lot about like work and saying how much she hated her job and saying how like crying and stuff about how she hates struggling financially, hates doing X, Y, and Z, yada yada yada. I'm not gonna get too deep into that, but I had therapy sessions. I had my friends help me out and kind of build my mental back. and then I fell in love with myself, building like the most confidence I could have ever imagined, and finally becoming like an independent person, of making decisions on my own and not being reliant on anybody else. And once I got into that groove and I finally checked out, losing the person that was like the most important in my life, I flipped the switch. I was the most mechanical, most systematic, and most disciplined person I've ever been in my entire life, got in the best shape of my life, and made the most money I've ever had in my life from trading. And that's all from when I started and pushing you guys out the forever model. Like, once that stage came in, that's when it was like an ATM machine. And I found consistency on the charts, and I found consistency in my life. And I can tell you right now, it has been the best. It has been a blessing. It was a blessing and a curse in the same time, having her leave me, because I never would have gotten to the point where I'm at now. So like, that is kind of like just this little bit of my entire backstory of like who I was before to who I am now. And I know that a lot of people can relate to these stories, because I feel like everybody as a trader goes through similar traumatic events in their lives. And I feel like every single guy in their developing stages of their lives, they have to go through like a traumatic event to really flip a switch in their brain to make them turn into a fucking man, and actually like a demon, and someone who's so driven that nothing and no one can stop them. Like, literally no one. And that's how I feel. And I know that nothing can get in my way. I know that I'm on the right track. And if I want to be the provider for my family and be the person that will be retiring my bloodline, I just need to keep doing this and showing up every single day and keep pressing these buttons exactly how I've showed you guys in this video and every single video that I've put out prior. And I know that you guys will get to that point as well eventually. You just need to be consistent. You need to show up every single day, journal every single trade that you take, get in your reps, and then reward will be the automatic yield. That's literally everything. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So like, that was a long rant. Kind of got just lost in my own words. But wow, that was a lot. Jesus. I feel like a lot of you guys can relate to that though. Every guy has to go through something crazy in their life, and once you do and you get out of it, if you can get out of it, you'll be a boss, and you'll move with confidence. But let's end on that. And if you guys do like these sort of videos and you want sort of like these rants like this, the recaps or whatever, I'll gladly do them more often. Just show love, comment, subscribe. It means the world. And hopefully tomorrow we get some good setups. We get some good opportunity, and you guys get paid. But take it easy, everybody. Have a great rest of your nights. Be safe. Much love. And I'll talk to you guys all later on. Deuces, everyone.